Guys, welcome to Judgment Day. I'm joined today on the panel by
Vindaloo,
Spag,
Abominable,
and Strider.
Today, guys, we'll be making the decision, on who will be in the 2019 Pro League. Woo! Okay, firstly, Strider.
Yeah.
Who's impressed you this year?
There's a few names.
Okay.
There are a few names, Joe. I feel, and I'm not being unbiased in the slightest, but I feel District G has done significantly better than all the other UK-based teams.
You will say that though, wouldn't you?
It's funny because I agree with that statement as well.
But generally, I think it's been a good year for not just UK Tekken but European Tekken.
Yeah. So who's going to throw the first name into the hat that we're going to discuss? Stu, go for it, mate.
Yeah.
Okay, so can I just first say some of the things I want to consider here?
All right, go on.
I'm not going to say a District G name because you guys are in the room, and I'm not going to say an elf name at this point unless Vindaloo doesn't do a good enough job at it, but I'm sure he will. But the things I want to see, if I was to put a league together, you can literally just do the best players, and that should be part of it. But I would like to see character diversity, character loyalists as well, and I would like to see some regional diversity as well. So I'm actually going to start with an away name. I'm going to go with Kirkbury of Scotland.
I actually have that on my list too. Yeah. So that is something I would say I agree with.
Okay, so for Kirkbury to go through, it needs a four-man majority. So all those in favour of
Kirkbury,
raise your hand. Okay.
Yeah. Good.
All right, so Kirkbury goes into the hat.
Okay. See you, Joe. I'm off now, mate.
Strider.
Personally, I'm going to go for a District G per se.
Amen. Amen. Just sing it.
Now, this isn't a pro league.
I agree.
Whatsoever.
Go.
Yeah. Unless the big guns are going.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
So, my first pick, blatantly Asim.
Hey. All those in favour?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Asim in the pot. Great pick. The man. Spag.
What's up? Yeah, so I've got quite a few names here in my little notebook.
Wow.
I would just like to say before though that if you guys do say names I don't agree with, I'm gonna let you know I don't agree with. You remember that I came down to your event to the District G and no one knew who I was.
Yeah.
I battled through a single elimination tournament.
Yeah.
And then I won the round robin. And I was like, who is this guy? Yeah? So if there's anyone that I think needs to prove themselves, I'm going to make sure they go through that same process.
Okay.
I'm just going to say.
Okay.
But yeah, I agree with the two already. Had the Kirkbury down from Scotland. Very, very strong player. And Asim, of course, I mean, no one's going to disagree with that. But I want to say False God. I want to say this is a guy who I've played a lot myself, who has proven himself on the international stage and defended home turf at versus fighting versus some of the best players in the world. This is a guy who I think has the passion. He's got a great attitude when he wins and when he loses. This is someone who can potentially be one of the best players in the UK, in my opinion. So I say False God. You know, I don't know if you guys agree, but that's my pick.
Anyone want to say anything about that?
No, False God is definitely in my book. So
Yeah, I had his name down.
yeah.
All those in favour, raise your hand.
We're going to have a lot of names.
Right. Okay. Well, I've been shooting a lot of photos, so I haven't been paying much attention to the gameplay, but seen a lot of the results from the Elf Boys, and they've been doing really, really well.
Yeah.
Okay. None other than this Joker himself, the most memeable guy in the whole of, I say, Tekken at the moment. Cute Sane.
Cute
Hey,
Sane.
mate, no,
Cute Sane.
yeah,
Best
yeah.
law player. He's so hyped, but he does.
Yeah,
Sometimes he don't concentrate, but when he does, he's unstoppable.
Yeah.
So he's in there.
I've been playing with Gosane since he was playing in Tag 2 when he just started out. In fact, it was a funny story. He wasn't allowed to go offline unless I went with him. That's because he was too young. Then he's like, oh, so I want to go to.
How old was he then?
He was, I don't know, like 16 or 50. I don't know. Know.
Since last week, yeah.
Yeah. He goes, I want to go to Heart Gaming, but my mum won't let me. So I was like, I'll go with you. She's like, all right, cool. But since then, of course, he's been doing a lot, and in Tekken 7, he's done a lot of work. We went to America together, went to Summer Jam. One of my favourite commentary matches that I did with Steve was actually Rick the Ruler versus Gosane, and Gosane came out in front. He did the thing, and I agree with it. I think Gosane he's solid, and he's actually the person who has the highest viewed clip on the Tekken channel as well when he memed Kakoma. So hey man, he's doing good stuff in the Tekken community. I agree with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you say a bit about Gosane?
Well, I mean, the thing that struck me about Gosane when I first met him, like before I'd even played any Tekken against him, was I couldn't believe, because he's so unassuming. When you meet him, you don't think this guy is going to be really competitive and really strong as a player.
Yeah.
But God, what a player he is! He's got young man reactions, but he's got an old man wisdom when it comes to making clutch decisions in the right moments. And he's pitted just like False God. He's proved himself on the world stage. He's top European talent, so he has to go in.
Strike, what do you think about Gosane?
I haven't had the opportunity to play him, which is disappointing because I've seen and heard amazing things about him. When it comes to law players, he's definitely up there. Arguably one of the best, top 5 in Europe.
Best in Europe.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, top 5 in Europe. Yeah. And he's definitely the future in terms of Tekken. Like, I'm sort of 29 now. He's like 21 or something like that.
I think like 20.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's fairly young. So if he is sort of the example of the future of the Tekken, it's looking very bright for the UK. So yeah.
One last thing. In America, I made Gosane and Rip play each other in the Law Mirror match, and he almost 10-0'd him. It was 10-1. Yeah.
Oh, shout out to that. Shout out to that.
And that's a combination of Gosane being good and Rip being just shite at the game. So,
He's having such a tough time lately. Poor Rip.
I've got a few words to say about Gosane. Gosane is like a Tesco Lidl's version of Sea Crystal. Because we all know the best. We all know the best law is, and that's Sea Crystal. He's currently taking a hiatus.
but what happened when they played each other?
I can't remember.
I think he didn't win a
I-
round.
He was ill.
Is it?
Oh, mate.
See, Quizil.
Free.
Yes, he was ill.
Gosane made him retire, didn't he?
And listen, he's taking a hiatus.
Because after that match,
When Crystal's back, you two are gonna play each other. we know who the best is. So
fighting words.
So hands up if Gozane's going in.
It's got to go in.
I'm not putting my hand up because I know you go through anyway, so I put my hand up.
Do you know,
Crystal, you're my boy, babe.
do you know what we've done it already? We've picked a player from District G, a player from Elf, a player from Rise, and a player from 200k.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh,
Who's
wow,
200,
okay,
who
good
is
start.
200k?
Who is
Who
200k?
is 200k? And listen, the elf. I want to say something. The elf boys put up this list of teams, yeah. And 200k came before elf. Now, how did that happen?
Didn't Elf come last?
The elf came last. No, even I agree with that. How did that happen?
Oh, well, you got more delusional fans than we do, more realistic.
Weren't you the ones that
Instigated
posted?
it.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah, it didn't work out.
It worked out.
Pat. Anyway, so who have we got? So give me a run through who we've got.
Kirby, False God, Gosane, and Aston.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
So who's next? It's me.
Yeah.
I wonder who I'm going to choose. The guy I'm going to choose has won so many tournaments this year in and around the UK that he told me, he was like, Joe, there's no space in the cabinet. There's no space in the cabinet because more so if, as in District G and Kane District G isn't there, or even if they are there, this guy is going to rank high, if not win. Can you think of who I'm going to say? Why do you look so confused? Mario, Rukan.
Yeah.
I
Say a bit
agree.
about Rukan. Say a bit about Rukan for me. Take as long as you want.
This guy is the most dedicated Tekken player I've met in a long time. I've known him since the first time I played him in a tournament was Super versus Battle about 8 years ago, and he was so annoying to play against. Honestly, he played Roger, and I played against him, and I felt like he just would not stop hitting buttons, but he absolutely destroyed me. And it's pretty much been like that ever since we played each other. He is a really strong player. He's super competitive. He doesn't care if the tournament has a £1 prize pot or 500.
He's the kind of guy that he cares more about the actual trophy
Yeah,
than he does about the prize pot.
yeah. It's all about the prestige for him. And he even said to me the other day, he said, oh, I've got this new job and I'm not sure about, next season Tekken World Tour. I said, come on, Rukan, come on.
You make time.
You're the most competitive guy I know.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
will
yeah.
play. And he was like, yeah, I know, I will. He's got to go in. He's got a full trophy cabinet. It means so much to him to play in these events. He's all heart and soul.
Yeah.
And he's a rare breed because he's at the top levels of Tekken, but I still think he plays by feel. I still think he has. I think he lets you think that he's doing it more than he really is. Don't get me wrong, but I still think he plays with instinct, and there's not a lot of players that are still doing that at the top levels.
It's true, but he does study the game a lot, so we talk a lot. And before we went to the LCQ, he knew he was playing against Abel the Maestro. And this is a guy that Europe had to beat. Abel the Maestro is someone that everyone's saying is going to win the LCQ. Europe is free, Europe's not going to win. And Rukan said, look, I want to beat him. What do I need to do? I said, this is what you need to do, this and this, practice this and that. He goes, okay, cool. I'm going to do that when I get home from work. And then when I watched him play against, he did everything on that list. In the first of two as well, outplayed one of the best players in the world, made him look silly, low parried him all day, beat him, and made the South Americans really salty. So defended Europe. This guy, man, he's made waves in global Tekken. Forget Europe, forget UK, global Tekken. When he hell swept red 7 times in a row in the mix-up. This guy, and he almost beat Kudans as well. So definitely world level. I agree with him being on the list. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, what I love about Mario is that outside the game, he's the nicest guy. Yeah, I remember the trip back from Manchester. Just put some music, and he's just dancing away, joking around. That's him. But when he picks up that pad, he's in that seat. He's not your mate. That winning mentality, I don't really see much in the UK scene. I wish we had more of that. That killer instincts, that will to want to be number one. So yeah, definitely agree with that.
One thing about him that I've noticed as well, I think it's what I mean by the play by feel. You've got like a setup, and like you've got a move, it does some plus frames, and you watch what the opponent does, and you think, okay, I'll bank that for later. He's banking what you do after a single jab. He's banking what you do after a single low down 4 or down forward 1. And that's why sometimes at the end of a game, he does something like he'll do a basic little down 4 low kick and then hit Rage Art straight away. And you're thinking, why did you do that? It's because he's banked every single tiny little thing you've done. He's so smart on that. He's makes micro decisions all the time. Whereas for me, I'm kind of had these big moments. Every little moment is a decision for him. And he's just such a smart player.
Yeah.
Captain Strider.
I'm going to say nothing positive about Mario. Because for like 3 months, I've been telling him, come, let's do a first to 5, because he knows he's a fraud. In my eyes, and everyone in our close circle of people knows he's a fraud. So I'm not going to say yes until he accepts my first to 5.
Didn't he beat you with a day 1 king online recently? I saw that. No, it must be a different Strider who plays Josie.
Hang on, shall I tell you, the last time, look at his history. The only time I can play him on stream is if I stream snipe him.
Yeah, I can imagine that maybe.
Go look at the archives. Go and look at the archives. Any character he brings on, I always beat him online. And that's why he's afraid to first to 5 me. And he knows it's true.
We've got like Civil War coming here.
Yeah.
Crazy. So, hands up if Mario's going through.
He doesn't deserve it.
Right. gets hard here. I know there's some. I know there's a name I want to say, but before we started recording. One of you guys made me think that you might say it, so I'll leave it for you.
I don't know. Say it.
Say it. Say it.
Okay, we've got to consider Fergus. I mean, he's a shoe-in.
Yeah.
It can't be a long discussion. The guy is just he represent. I mean, we've sort of, even though Ireland isn't UK, we've sort of said, okay, this guy, until he starts losing, he's UK. He's quality. He's a leader of I'd say of our wider European community. He's one of the leaders, and actually a lot like Spag. He's not out there just to win. He puts out tutorials. He wants other players to get good, and he's brought other players up around him. Like for instance, Signor Fafala. The Irish scene are getting stronger and stronger, and I would say he's one of the main factors. So yeah, a good bloke, great player.
Yeah.
He probably was the highest UK. Rated player.
He was.
Really,
his name should have come up with simultaneously with Azim's, or not higher, really.
Yeah, he had a lot of opportunities to travel to a lot of tournaments, but the thing is that when it mattered, he won. Or he got a lot of wins. You know, like I remember the one tournament where it stood out was when he went to South America for that master event, and he didn't get any sleep. You know, he was a wreck, but he went there and he beat so many people. I think he came third. And got himself a lot of points. So and then from there, the momentum, he got a lot more points after that too. So the guy is clearly one of the best in not even just in Europe, but like in the world. He's definitely up there. So you can't deny his skill. He's got the results. You know, you can't argue with facts, as they say.
Well, you guys said it all. I mean, Fergus. When you hear that name, it's most likely going to win. Or if not, come second. So yeah, definitely in the list for me.
No, I agree. He was, you know, one of the top 16 at the Tekken World Tour, and he didn't have to do the last chance qualifier. Great person, you know, excellent Tekken player. He definitely deserves to be on the list.
Okay. Hands for Fergus. Ireland. Strider.
Hasn't he already done two?
I've done one.
You done one? Okay, fair enough.
No, you pushed in, man.
All right. Try not to do a District G player. Just.
All right. I wasn't planning on doing one, but I think I'm gonna go for. I'm gonna say King J. I know he's not as active offline, especially during like the Tekken World Tour. I think his presence on social media and Twitch has sort of given him basically enough credentials to prove that he's worthy to be in this tournament. He's had streams where he's been playing people like Fergus, and he's beaten Fergus not by a couple of matches, but he's actually beaten him solidly. So it was good to see him play in a tournament offline.
Yeah, do you know, it's funny about King J because I don't think when he's on form, I don't think there's anyone that he can't actually beat, because he's beat Azim a couple of times online. I remember, did he beat Kane in the Royal Rumble? He come and he won a Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Last man, he just
Birmingham, he came like top 20 in Birmingham, and he's quite big in the scene. I know he's very controversial, but he's big in the scene. I think I agree with you. I'm upset you didn't mention a District G player, but
Stu's giving me some bit of peer pressure. Might need to swap seats.
No,
Stu,
look.
what do you think? Oh no, it's
Oh
there,
no,
it's
fair
there,
enough.
it's there.
I withdraw my statement.
No, his name is on the list. It wasn't the first name I wrote though. So yeah, his name is on my list, and I think you're right. When he's in form, and it actually also lends itself to the characters he uses, like big momentum characters. He can be absolutely unstoppable. Depends how long the list is going to be. I put him on my list because I support him. I think he's a good player, but I'm not. He was not the first name I wrote. He's like the 15th name I wrote.
Oh wow, okay.
It depends. It depends what you want. It depends what you want. You know, in my opinion, Jay has not. He's not got the offline results this season, and obviously, I think it's down to him concentrating more on his social media when it comes to YouTube streaming, Twitch, all that kind of stuff. Maybe he doesn't have the time to practice as much as these other guys do and focus on the competitive side of it. But I agree with the social media presence thing. I think he's definitely one of the biggest guys in the UK. But when it comes to this tournament, it depends on what you want. If you want, you know, I definitely think that Jay, watching him play and playing him, has improved from his Tekken Tag 2. So in Tekken Tag 2, he was very, he didn't really study the game much. I feel like he studies it now and he grinds the game. He's got a good attitude. But I just don't know. It depends what you want. Do you want someone who has been getting the results and, you know, grinding tournaments, or someone who's got a good social media presence? I don't think he's a bad player. I think he's a good player. And I agree with you guys that he has managed to get some wins over people as well, like top players, but I don't know. It's a hard one.
Yeah, I agree with what Spag said. He's a great player. Everyone knows him. Social media presence is key these days. If you want to bring Shy to an event, he's probably the best, right? Him and Fergus. But if you're talking about the top 8, probably not there. 12 could be, 16, yeah, could be. But maybe we need to find balance. So I don't necessarily disagree with that decision, but I wouldn't say yes.
Yeah.
All right. Hands for King Jay.
Yeah. Can we park that?
Yeah, that's yeah. We have to get parked. He has to get parked. Okay. So.
Yes. Okay. I lost track now. So okay. The most travelled UK player, fun to watch, Alisa player, Sherdle, strong. How many offline tournaments has he won? He's won like over 1,000 euros. Okay, more than a challenger event on online results. He was our top player in the last chance qualifier, top 32, no, top 33, I believe. So the results is there. Not. I think he's a better player than the results has offline, but I think he deserves a chance.
No. I'm sorry, Shadow, man.
No.
I've played him so much, and I know he's definitely got potential, but he's not ready for the top 8. No way. Sorry, Shadow. No, don't take offence to this. Yeah.
No, but he's won stuff.
It doesn't matter, man. I'm telling you.
I'm just mad because Sherdle put Strider in Group C in here.
Oh, this is a brief for that.
You'll never get a yes from me, Sherdle.
Literally, do you know what I was going to say? I was literally going to just say C and just leave it at that. That's all I was going to say.
It's not happening.
Not going to happen.
How should be in? I don't think that he's won enough. He's definitely a good player.
Yeah.
No. Here's the thing. He's got potential, like really good. He also came with me to Strong Style and to Summer Jam, so he's actually gone to another American event too. He's very, very well travelled. But that in itself doesn't mean that he should be in the top 8. You know, he has gotten wins, but his results haven't been really good at these high caliber events, right? Yeah. On the level of someone like Gosei, for example, right? Yeah. But Sherdle has, Sherdle eliminated Run It Black and Incognito. Yeah. Those are 2 huge names in America. So he's got wins. In Rome, he beat Daniel Mardo. He beat Sarah. Really? Yeah, he beat Sarah from Spain as well. So he's got wins over people. But his consistency versus a variety of play styles is just not good enough. It's not there yet. He's still developing as a player. I mean, he's a good player, but I do think he struggles and he does lose to a lot of people too, as much as he wins versus people.
Well, I think if you eliminate the amount of characters and you have 8 players, I think that's where he probably excels at. He knows what player he's matching up. He does a study. He will study it, and I reckon he will shine. I reckon he's more powerful.
All right, let me ask you something. Out of the people we've approved, who do you think Sherdle will beat?
Well, it could be. It could be.
No. Who do you confidently feel he will beat?
Yeah, you're going to put the mortgage on.
I reckon he can beat Fault Squad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I reckon. Who else? That's only one, baby. One.
What, is that good enough? Is that good enough? That is good enough.
Could it be because he's also elf?
No.
But you know what? From a very biased point of view, I find it hard to add him to a list where we haven't spoken about Phantom and we haven't spoken about Kate I'll just be, and I know that they are District G players. However, if they got in, if he gets in ahead of those two, they'll never speak to me again. But I think they've done more. I thought that they've done more, and even Phantom's gone. I don't need to speak about Kane. I know we had a kind of fell towards the end, but he's done so much. But Phantom, I don't think that people realise, you know, the stuff that these two will, they're commentators. He's won a lot, and I think, did he finish like one of the Europeans 8th maybe? You know, so I think to put Sherdle in when I've still got 2 of my guys that I need to put in there, I can do it.
I couldn't.
Well, worth a try. Worth a try.
Should we just get your 2 guys in now then, so we can do the rest?
Yeah, let's just do it.
It's true though. I mean, at the end of the day, forget about teams for a second. I'm not part of Elf, DG or whatever, you know. And I think that you can't put Shadow over Phantom. Phantom, you can't leave that guy.
The Phantom, the Phantom, please.
He's knocking your door.
He already has. Trust me. But yeah, no, I agree, man. It's not even a hate thing. It's just it's true, isn't it? Yeah.
Hands for Sherdle. One hand.
I've got my hands ready for other Elf players. I think he's a very strong player. I think he is full of potential, and he also has already fulfilled some of that potential.
Yeah.
I just think if there's gonna be a Tekken 8, I could see him being in the top handful of players in the UK. I think right now he does suffer to some matchups.
I don't think matchups. I just think playstyles. I think it's hard for him to beat someone who's got good defense. I've played him a lot. And that's something he struggles with. That's why I'm saying, because don't forget, I've been a top player in the UK as well from before. I still play the game a lot, and I play versus all the people that are on this list. And I'm telling you, Shadow is not quite ready to play against your Asims and your, the people with your strong defense. He's not quite able to do that yet, but I think he can do soon, especially since he's got results versus top players from other countries.
I didn't know he had these results that you're saying.
Yeah, well, I was there when it happened, so...
Let's give him a shout out.
Yeah.
Not today, but soon. But soon.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's similar to King J in my mind. It's he's got some amazing results. He's really well regarded as a player, just not quite yet.
Cool.
So you were going to say we're going to say Phantom? Should we just get him in?
Yes, please. Thank you. Get Phantom in. The Phantom.
Do you know? You mentioned earlier picking players because they have some internet presence or personality or whatever, or do you pick them because of the quality of the player? He ticks both boxes significantly.
Shout out to my boy, the Phantom. Thanks, Stu.
He's quality. I love him.
Yeah. That wasn't my pick. That was Stu's pick. I'm making sure of that.
So all hands for Phantom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. You sign off, please, Stu.
I will.
Thank you.
How many plays that then? 4 or 5?
I think Spag needs to call someone out, don't we?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. 2, 4.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Ooh. Spaghetti.
Yeah, it's getting a bit tough now. But can I ask why anyone hasn't spoken about Kane yet?
Oh my God.
Maybe it's an obvious one, I think.
Yeah,
it's
just obvious.
Yeah, it's the
let's speak about Kane immediately, please.
Right, so Kane and Trench, definitely. I mean, if you look at the start of the World Tour, Asim and Kane were constantly top 3 everywhere.
Yeah.
They unfortunately were not able to make it down to Headstomper, and from there,
That's when it failed. That's when it failed.
From there, the luck went downhill.
Everything was good.
Asim wasn't able to get a visa to Russia. His visa to America was messed up, and and for Kane, I've heard about some issues he's had. But yeah, I can't deny.
You're gonna make me cry.
I had an unfortunate end to the World Tour, both of those guys. But Kane and Trent, you can't deny them, man. You just can't. Anytime you see that man is in your bracket, I've seen people when they say, "Oh, damn, I'm against Kane. Oh, I got Kane in bracket," and they know they're in for trouble. Kane is so good, and he's got a great attitude as well. Nobody can deny him. No one can. No one in Europe and no one in the world.
Yeah.
Qualified for the World Finals as well, for the second World Tour,
Yeah.
He's the new prodigal son. I don't want to disrespect Ryan Hart, but if there was to be a new prodigal son, it's Kane. He's gifted. He's smart. His reactions are insanely good. He is a student of the game, and I think the thing that impressed me even more than any of that is he has had, I don't know all the details, but he's had a rough time in that he's not been able to get to all of the events. The dignity he's carried himself with, he's watched other players get ahead of him, not in terms of skill, but in terms of results and stuff like that, and he's congratulated them. He's never said, oh, I wish I was there, I would have beat that guy. It's easy to see other people doing what you used to do or did do recently and feel like that, but he's just such a dignified guy. He's wished everyone luck, and he just wants to play Tekken. That's all it's about.
For me, if I was to make a 5-man or 10-man team in Europe to go against the other regions in the world, he's on my list because of his consistency. He's so consistent because of his play style, and let's not forget he beat me. At Damage Germany, and me was like, damn, I was just not ready for that play style.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
we can't forget about that. And it's because they're like, damn, I've never played a Yoshimitsu with reactions and defense and patience like he does, and block punishment. When his punishment is on point, you're not beating him. The guy's too good. So I agree with him.
He's gimmick free as well. He's a gimmick free Yoshimitsu. He's got, the only thing I could maybe say is a gimmick with him is that he does the propeller unblockable at the wall. That's probably the closest thing to a gimmick with him. He's just such an honest Tekken player. He literally does it on the hardest way possible.
I agree. Well, I trash talk Kane a lot when always seen him in a final with Igor Gosei and Shinposhige and whatnot. I do give him a bit of stick, but only for banter. And he's always so nice to me back. He just takes it. I love it. How can you trash talk more to Kane? You can't really. You got. I love him to bits. He's great, and I'll put him in. We didn't mention him because he's an obvious choice, right? So
the man is so passionate. I remember, so we were in New York City, me, Gosei, my brother, and Kane, and that's that night. Imagine 4 a.m. Times Square. We're chilling. We're trying to maybe just lie down, go to sleep. Season 2 patch notes has come out. Kane would not shut up. He would not shut up. I swear down, he wouldn't shut up. He was like, oh my god, guys, Miguel is so good now, look. And then even when he went to the toilet, and he was on the toilet, and he was still talking about, he was like, imagine, guys, Miguel can be magic forwards about the even on the bog he was talking. I don't know, this guy's passionate about it,
I love his passion.
I think that's probably why he's such a good player. Well, you gotta learn to shut up sometimes, bro. Shouts to Kane, man.
Stride?
I honestly, I have nothing bad to say about Kane. Everyone here has basically said what I've been thinking. He is really the benchmark of one of the best Tekken players, and he makes the UK proud. Not just District G and his circle of friends. He makes the UK proud. He goes abroad like Damage Germany. When people, before that match started, I'm pretty sure everyone watching that match is like, oh, he's gonna give him a good fight, but they had no idea he beat. Completely forgot his name. Nee.
I forgot about that.
But he did. It's a shame. He made it to the final and didn't win. But
gave him a good fight there too.
100% gave him a good fight, and it's. I think everyone can agree it's sheer madness if he's not in this top 8.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
hands up.